Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Trayvon Miles.
And I'm Haley Milon.
And this here is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in today's episode, it's over. It's finally over. 21 games, an eternity in high school, and the losing streak for Seaford is no more. Highlights of the Blue Jays' first win since early in the 2014 season.
What a relief. And Stephen Decatur also going into the night winless. They were facing off against Kent Island, and boy, did they want to win.
Yes, they did. It might have looked bad on paper, but that is why you play the game. Delmar Field Hockey also traveling to take on Lake Forest in their first road game of the season. Make sure you watch out for that score. You just might be surprised by that one. Welcome, everyone, to the show you know and love, DSI. Every weekend, we are the only show here on Delmarva giving you the analysis to all of last week's high school games. This week, no different. We got to start it off quick in Smyrna, Delaware. The defending champion Smyrna Eagles took the field last night in a championship game rematch, taking on the only team that beat them last season in Salesianum, and one of the biggest crowds in Delaware high school history on hand to see a rematch. And before they could settle in, if we could get that video up, before the crowd could settle into their seats, I'll tell you what, Smyrna had a great game plan before the opening. Exactly. 6,000 people, they say. Smyrna's Letty Brown receiving the opening kickoff at the 3, and he's got some space, breaks a tackle at the 40, breaks another at the 50, and if you're not in front of this guy, you are not catching him. 97 yards to the house to make it 8-0 before you could blink. The transfer making things happen earlier. Sallies respond on their opening drive. Carson Salvo breaking through that line, a couple cuts, and he's through the secondary. 41 yards to make it 8-6. Last year in the regular season, these teams went back and forth. This year, only one team did. Nolan Henderson, a strike to Brown, 43 yards. He's back into the end zone. Smyrna leads 52-13 at the half. Second half, much of the same. You know this guy's going to get his. Will Knight been in the corner. He's going 65 yards. No contest, guys. Throw in the towel. Smyrna all over Salesianum last night by a final of 60-26. And I tell you what, it's a good thing Smyrna called off the Dogs in the second half because they could have easily put up 80 points.
Seen triple digits almost?
Almost triple digits. Put up 80 points on Salesianum. I thought they could last night. Look, if the Sallies are the challenger to Smyrna's crown, I say go ahead and give it to them right now. Just go ahead and bring the title right back to Smyrna because with Henderson, Knight, and Brown, along with that opportunistic defense, I just don't see how they lose this season.
Yeah, that offense with Knight and Brown, just so
goodness.
Many options,
They came
lethal.
into this year already good and got one of the best players in the state.
What a treat. Week 3 in Delaware, and we already get that matchup. Pretty awesome. But let's go back to Maryland. We had Easton hosting Bennett last night. Now, normally we give a lot of props to the Warriors offense, but Easton's defense smothered Bennett last night. Big sack there by DeMonte Bailey, but that offense still looking good. Mason Ledford dropping back to hit for a 23-yard score. Brandon Bowes for the score. The Warriors would go up 24-0 on that one. And once again, that defense, talk about pressure. Another sack here, really by the whole defense.
They were all on them.
Yeah, really. Drew Griffiths gonna get credit for it. Easton holds it down at home as they blow by Bennett 31-7. And Trey, this Easton team might really be the real deal. I think it's safe to say 4 weeks into the Maryland season. I know it's been said that this team is rebuilding, but they're solid on both sides of the ball. I've seen nothing but solid play from this team, and to have a really strong front seven in that passing threat, looking good at 3-1.
Yeah, I think Coach Matt Griffith kind of psyched us out because when we first went up there for a preview, we weren't sure who his quarterback was. So he rolls out Mason Ledford, who probably leads the Bayside in passing right now.
He was hiding.
Hiding his guys. So they were supposedly rebuilding. Not the case. Off to a 3-1 start and off to doing great things. I still think there'll be some challengers in that Bayside North for them. One of those guys that we talked about last week and one of the more exciting finishes, Kent Island absolutely stunned North Carolina with that blocked field goal for touchdown last week. So a very angry Bulldog squad got ready to feast on their next opponent. And guess who it happened to be, Haley?
I'm going to guess Y-High.
Happened to be Y-High. Cody Pepper going to get this handoff right here up the middle, and he's headed to the sideline. A big gain on the play for him, and that would lead to this. David Bailey Jr. in from 6 yards out. 3 touchdowns on the night for the big junior. Caroline pitching the shutout. But come on. Why high? We're not going out like that. We can't go out like that. Quarterback Jason Patterson faking the handoff, keeping the option up the sideline. 86 yards later, he is into the house for the score. Indians getting on the board late, looking to move a little bit more closer. Try the reverse right here. Stuffed in the backfield by a very big guy. All Bayside defender Trey Boyce, North Carolina, all over Y-High last night by a final of 33-6.
Yeah, that one had to hurt. Now, Laurel got trounced 55-7 by Sussex Tech last year. They were looking for revenge this time around. The Bulldogs leading, Tyzier Morris gets this 1-yard touchdown. Morris looking a little bit later. He rolls out, hits Noah Jones for a 25-yard score. Tech trying to come back after getting in a big hole early. This guy, he's not going to let it get to him. Perez Nichols gets around the edge and is in from 15 yards out to push Laurel's lead ahead, and they would put the nail in the coffin. Yolanix Gustin gets up there on the left sideline, makes a couple guys miss, and 80 yards later, he's going in. Laurel stuns Tech 59-28 last night.
Cannot believe that final. No. Indian River still looking for that first win. Taking on Cape, need a quick touchdown. Don't know where to go. IR going to G-Mart. George Martin in from a couple yards out. After that, though, Cape and Coach there sending an earthquake. Big Kobe Wright, all 6'1", 240 pounds of him, just pushing little kids out of the way.
Monster child.
En route to a 25-yard touchdown. Special teams last night, not so special for Indian River. Punt block taken in by Cape. First win against a Delaware team this year for the Vikings. They take it 40-21.
Not bad. All right, Parkside on the road. In American Corner taking on Colonel Richardson. Niall Oge takes the pitch off of the right side. He finds a hole in the defense, and he's down the sideline and into the end zone. Go give the Rams a lead. Colonel looking to respond. Jake Zabron's pass is juggled but caught by Charles Colderson. He gets some space. He gets stripped and coughs it up, and DeJour Church dives on it. And the Rams have it back. They just let this young man run wild last night. Nice play. Fake fools our camera, so you know it fooled the defense. Oge is in for another TD. 3 scores in from the first half for him. The Rams go on to roll 42-0.
Dover still looking for that all-important first win of the season, taking on Lake Forest. Also came in winless. Scoreless game in the third. Deshaun Bizel breaking through to give Sparty High a 7-0 lead. Dover would respond late in the third. Jordan McGee finding a hole up the middle, and the big sophomore is in 26 yards later to tie it. Still tied in the fourth. McGee looking to set up a screen. He's going to find his man John Rodell Castro, and he's going 55 double nickel in yards in for the score. Congrats to Dover. First win for head coach Rudy Simonetti on the year.
That's got to feel good. And this week around, the Eagles were proud to say they were back to field a flock, taking on Washington. And interestingly enough, this one turned into a defensive battle early on. Snow Hill trying to move the ball on the first possession. Deshaun Whaley with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And then Washington, they were trying to run it. They are stopped for the loss by Seth Woods. Scoreless game after the first quarter. Couldn't get much going. And then the Jags eventually got the offense going. Travell Jones gets in from 5 yards out to give the Jags the lead. Snow Hill fighting, though. Sandlot play here by Takai Wise. He hits Damian Fry. Beatty on the rollout. That was all the offense they got tonight, though, as Washington rolled 48-6.
All right, Cambridge at home taking on recent rival Kent County. That would be the one-man show right there. Marquand Green in from 6 yards out. A little bit later, he'd do it again. Went on to break the Bayside career touchdown record in this game. Tied at 14 at the half. Second half, CSD comes out and dominates. Trey Lake going to take the kickoff, go up the middle. Barely gets touched on this play. 86 yards. Woo. He's rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. That young man is got reservations for 6. He's going to the end zone for the score. Kemp would attempt to respond. Green attempting a pass right here. Ball going to be picked off, tipped actually, and then picked off by Kobe Jones. And I can tell you something about Kobe Jones. He likes his touchdowns long. 100 yards the other way. Interception return for Jones. He's going to get past this guy too, believe me. I already saw these highlights. Jones takes it on in as Cambridge prevails in this one, 42-20 the final.
No one even trying to touch him. Kent Island in Berlin for their second straight road game. To be good on the road, you got to be able to run it, and Austin Ryan is in from 3 yards out for the Bucks early. Decatur trying to respond, so decimated by transfers, they put their best on the field weekly. Ed Zoniak down the sideline for a gain of 14, but the drive would stall. This drive, it didn't. Braden Doyle busts through the line for KI. Great blocking downfield by the receiver. He's in from 20 yards out. Then the big lead for the Bucks would only swell. Jordan Marciano up to Dylan Finley. He comes down with it. Total domination by Kent Island as they would win 52-0. Nothing like a shutout.
Seaford taking on St. Andrews last night. St. Andrews quarterback Arthur Potter, he had a good game, taking matters into his own hand, getting the first down right here. But this ain't about the Cardinals. Straight up, I'm going to tell you, this is about the Blue Jays coming out on fire. Stephen Short takes the kick at the 40, and Haley, he's running like people are chasing him or something. 60 yards to the barn. Blue Jays take a lead in this game. And, oh, yeah, I said it, on this night, Stephen Short would become a Seaford legend. Big game right here, and he is in for another score. Seaford ends a 21-game losing streak dating back to early 2014. They win this one by a final of 66-26. Give it up for them.
Short's a hero, and he definitely had a good breakfast yesterday. Woodbridge Blue Raiders hosting Wilmington Friends last night, second quarter here. The Blue Raiders down 1. Jamon Kane on 3rd and 2 decides he wants more than a first down. He stiff arms a Quaker and goes in for the 17-yard touchdown. It was 14-7 Woodbridge at the break, and then in the third quarter, Friends trying to get back in it, but Justin Bennett's pass picked off by Richard Massey. He's got reservations for 6 as well. 21-7 Blue Raiders lead. Woodbridge then put it away. Tariq Reddick going right through the heart of the Quakers. 20-yard touchdown. Woodbridge took that one 35-7.
The band is out on the field. Some other scores from around Delmarva. Caesar Rodney falling to 0-3 with their loss to Glen Mills of Pennsylvania. How about Delmar falling to 1-2 with a 17-point loss at Caravel? Polytech, got to give it up for them. They get their first win of the year, beating Del Castle by 5. And Sussex Central, in a battle of state lines, knocks off my Bayside #1 Queen Anne's 29-14. You can bet your bottom dollar that these rankings will be shaken up after that one.
Polytech's first win in 2 seasons, actually.
Yes.
All right, so tons of football action around the shore last night, and hey, we're not done yet. After the break, we're bringing you the DSI Power Rankings, so don't go anywhere.
My name is William Knight, Smyrna running back, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.